backbone.
All right, everybody.
Pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
The conversation is about to get louder. You're listening to Miggs and Swig. Don Miggs, Ben Swig, JoJo, Lisa, and JJ. From music to marriage, from politics to parenting, from dating to deep thoughts in sports. Get ready for Miggs and Swig. Life out loud.
Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get the show on the road here, Miggs and Swig. This is Don Miggs. Welcome to your Sunday morning. And if you're in any sort of shape that Ryan looks like he's in over there, I'm sorry for you. We're gonna make things. We're gonna be as soft as we can.
As
Ryan.
painless as possible.
Ryan, is this okay for you? Nice and soft.
I can't stand up right now. Just put it that way.
Well, we have somebody in the studio. Who do we have there?
We have a guest in here.
This is Jerica. She's training call screener today with me, and maybe occasionally taking my place every once in a while.
Are you leaving us? Tell us the truth.
Are you
Shoot it
losing your
straight.
job?
I'm not leaving you, but I do have a Rays game to cover this afternoon.
So did you go to the head, John Brennan, and say, "Look, I can't deal with these guys anymore. I can't do it anymore. It's too painful."
I don't go to Brennan. Brennan comes to me.
Yeah,
That's it. The other thing is, Ryan's already a star. He doesn't need to be. He doesn't like being in the wings.
He kind of is a big deal.
He is kind of. Hey, so welcome to Sunday morning. I've got to tell you, this has been quite a week for me. I went to a Cubs game on Wednesday.
Who'd you go with?
I went with a good friend of mine, and I'll tell you this: I love the Cubs.
You love Joe Madden.
I do. I said
I love Joe
I love
Madden.
Joe Madden is all class. Let me just tell you. So we get there and we're doing batting practice, watching, and Joe comes over and it's, by the way, it's freezing. It could not be colder.
Oh, could have been.
I'm telling you, it was freezing. So I'm standing there and like, I'm doing everything I can to stay warm, but be as cool as I can because, you got all the ball players around and you're just trying to, like, I'm one of you guys, just 100 years older.
Wait, one of you guys?
Yeah, so Joe comes over.
Does that mean you're a baseball player?
I'm warming up the old
In his
arm there.
next life.
Yeah.
By the way, I was a damn good baseball player.
You couldn't hit a
darn.
curveball.
I couldn't hit a curveball.
You can't say damn on the radio?
I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn you,
Swig.
Ben.
Damn
All right,
you,
come on.
Swig.
So I can't hit a curveball, so I couldn't place. But so Joe comes out, and he comes over and he's talking with me, and I said, Joe, do you guys ever hang around the batting cage? And he's such a nice guy. He said, yeah, I always do. I said, why aren't you doing that today? He goes, because I'm talking with you, which is really cool. So we get done. He said, you want to see the clubhouse? We go in to the clubhouse, and they've redone the entire thing. It's just amazing. And then, can I drop a name? Anyone ready for the name drop? Is there a sound?
You didn't do that yet?
We need a name dropping sound for sure.
Yes.
Jamie,
So-
can we have that
Something
for next week?
falling.
So I'm hanging out.
Because Don does it a lot.
He does.
I'm hanging out,
He does.
and where do we go and sit? Because it's too cold to sit in the stands. So who's
Oh,
Lisa?
I know.
Lisa, you get to say.
Oh, John Cusack.
yes, which was a lot of fun. I
He
gave
eats
him
spice and hot dogs.
I gave him a boom box. He put it over his head.
He's still alive?
Oh,
Lloyd
Nice.
Dobler.
he's great. He was actually really great.
So wait, you went in his box? So what was the story? I mean, you were too cold, so you cuddled with John Cusack? I don't understand.
So he has a suite there that only two of them are actually, just him and his nephew were in, and my friend Michael and I went in, and we hung out in there and watched the whole game, and it was a great time. He is a baseball fan through and through, and it got me thinking. No offense, Tampa, but you guys aren't the biggest fans of your sports. I mean, there's a couple of you, but you are not rabid because in Chicago, these people, didn't matter how cold it was, they stayed till the very, very end, and they were engaged the entire time.
And they have, and obviously, the 1919 or whatever, the Cubs.
Oh, they're going to win it. They're going to win it this year.
But the thing is that, and we had this conversation before the show, and we were talking about Tampa fans and Tampa sports, and
Jamie gave us a lot of insight.
And my son and I took him to the Lightning game last night. We didn't have tickets, or yesterday, I'm sorry. And about 1:30, 2 o'clock, I went on StubHub, and I bought 2 tickets right behind the glass, one seat behind the glass. JJ was actually on the glass
she's
in front of us.
big.
She's
I know.
fancy.
But I bought the tickets for $150 each.
That was it?
Okay,
Is that a good price? That's a good price,
This
right?
is the NHL playoffs second round.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in Chicago, these tickets would have been in the thousands of dollars.
Right.
And it just got me thinking. And if you've ever been to a Lightning game, it's always home team strong. Like when the home team or the away team scores, it's like you're at a away team home game. And it's because we were talking because there's so many transplants here.
Yeah.
And people talk about the solution to the Rays is moving them to downtown Tampa. And I don't see how that can be a solution.
No, solution is you put a winning team on the
But
field.
even if you have a winning team, I mean on the ice.
First
the
of all-
Lightning go ahead.
I don't like going to the Rays games because I don't like going to a baseball game that's
Inside.
indoors. It doesn't feel
there's
right to
Would you
me.
like to be at a Rays game outside in the summertime of Florida?
That's
Amen, brother.
Thank
That's
God
right.
I'm not here in the summertime. No, I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to be
so-
there.
There's no real win there, and the problem with Tampa is they don't have history to make it feel. The team doesn't have a history to make you feel like there's
the Marlins
history,
is
right?
open,
yeah,
isn't it?
but retractable.
Retractable,
But if they did build one, I imagine they built a retractable. But the point is that the Lightning have put a winning team on the ice. They went to the Stanley
Right.
Cup Finals last year.
And congrats to Vinnick and his team, by the way.
Absolutely.
And they're going to do it again this year.
And I hope they do. But even last year, Nikki, my ex-wife, and I traded off taking Asher to the games because your dad was too cheap to buy
I
the box
know.
for the playoffs.
He's talking to me.
But
Lisa.
so we bought tickets, but we bought tickets every round of the playoffs, including the Stanley Cup, on StubHub for a ridiculously low amount of money. So it doesn't matter. A winning team, when the Bucks were winning,
Right.
there are empty seats all over the place. So I don't know what the solution.
Ryan has something
Ryan,
to
do you
say.
have any input?
No, when the Rays were making their 5 or 6 year run where they were contenders every year,
Even when they went to the
attendance was better.
But it wasn't.
They
No.
still couldn't average. I mean, they were still averaging barely 20,000 in a
even the World
39,000.
Series.
Yeah.
The World Series, you could pick up tickets. I remember buying
Yeah.
tickets. We didn't have tickets, and we bought tickets right behind the dugout, and they were
Expensive,
They were
but
more,
still, you
but
could
it
get them.
wasn't. I mean, it's. I don't know. Anyways, but I hope the Cubs do well.
I think they're going to. Man.
And we were
He's-
talking. We have in the background the Manchester United
Leicester
City match in the Premier League, and Leicester City is sort of like the Cubs of the Premier League, and they haven't won in. They're Cleveland Browns, Chicago Cubs, and they haven't won forever, and they're going to win the Premier League this year, which is unbelievable because they were. What were we talking about? 5,000 to 1 to win it.
Yeah, before the season started, they were 5,000 to 1. Last year, they were dead last in the standings.
On the tables. It's crazy.
Wow, that's
So-
incredible. How many like 90,000 in those stadiums?
This,
Is that how
this
many
is at
they
Old
hold?
Trafford, and there's probably 75, 80 grand. And if you are a sports fan, put that on your bucket list to go see a soccer match there because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Sports.
there you go.
Sports.
soccer.
There you go. We're in and we're out of that.
Great.
But it did get me thinking about something else because Ben and I were having a little conversation. Joe, I'm going to speak to you about this.
Oh, okay. Let me get ready.
So you have, let's say you're in a relationship. Not you.
Hypothetically
Not you.
speaking.
Got
Say-
it.
It's a far
Noted.
stretch here.
All right. So say
Hate all of
Ryan
you.
and JJ are going at it
yes.
hot and heavy.
Okay.
And we love them both. We go out with them a couple of times and it's been like, this is great. And then
You mean they're hot and heavy
they're-
as a couple,
they're
or
a couple.
physically
They're a
they're hot
couple.
and
They're
heavy?
both
Okay.
they're both blushing very hard
Got
right
it.
now, by the way.
So they got a lot going on in the boudoir, and now they've become friends with us. We all hang out all of the time, and then there's the breakup. So what do we do? Do we pick one or the other? Are we still friends with both? Do we unfriend one on Facebook? How does that
Okay,
work?
I'm going to need to know the reason why they broke up. If he or she did
'Cause Ryan,
something.
Ryan
think
wasn't
you're-
very good in the rapper.
Do you think you were going to get an easy answer?
No.
Because JJ wasn't doing what she's supposed to do as a young lady.
Does it matter?
I know. I'm kidding.
I mean,
Yeah.
By the way,
infidel-
Miggs and Swig show.
Are you talking about infidelity?
Yeah,
Okay.
if there's an issue, if something.
Okay, yeah. That's not a good answer.
Why?
So, yes, there's infidelity.
Okay.
Infidelity. So who do you pick?
Who didn't cheat?
Really?
No, really?
That's who you pick? Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure? Like,
No. We're not going to go there.
I'm just saying, but it's hard. That's a tough one to say. You pick or do you pick the person?
Infidelity is
That
just
you were friends with first.
Infidelity is a symptom.
Symptom.
It's a symptom of a whole bigger
I
thing.
got. That's
Some
why
people-
that's not the you can't use that.
Okay, you're right. I do agree
There
with
you
that.
go. What? By the way,
If they didn't do anything to me,
1-800-771-1025. The Bone. If you want to give a call in, go, Joe. If they didn't do anything to you,
then I'm fine with both of them.
Yeah, but
But
no,
that's not
no.
gonna work for the-
So now they both want to still hang out, but
You
they
hung
don't
out
get
with,
along.
You hang out with Joanne? I mean, that's going to cause a problem with them.
Right.
Is there anybody that we hang out with that is broken up that we still hang out with both of them?
Hello?
Besides you,
Hello?
besides you.
No, you don't count.
I don't mean family. I mean like friends.
No, but even that, in the beginning,
Well, right.
Ben,
It was harder.
we had you had to pick a side, and you can't go like at some point you can't go against family. So in the beginning, while it was all going on, we had to pick a side, and the side
Well,
wasn't
family's
Ben.
different. I would always go with my family, regardless of if they were the ones that screwed up or ruined the relationship or not. That's
you have
my
to.
loyalty.
got it
It's an
right.
interesting conversation. I mean, it really is because when Nikki and I got divorced, even though it was amicable and pretty much the whole time it was amicable, but you have to deal with those things because you have friends and people we met down here who we didn't actually know before. So it's an interesting deal, and it puts people, I'm sure, in difficult. Not only us as the people who broke up, but the friends and stuff. Like, who do we hang out with?
Right. And then the reason why I was thinking about it is because forgetting the couples, even just friends. If you're friends with someone and someone else isn't friends with that person, and you're good friends with someone, and they go, listen, I can't stand that person. Do you tell me, like your mom says, Lisa, tell me who you go with, I'll tell you who you are. When do you go, you know what? If I really trust this person's judgment and they're telling me this about this person, should I just go, I guess, I should listen to them. Right? It's an interesting thing.
Well, is it because they're jealous of your time with that other person?
Well, everyone's jealous because I'm very, very popular because I'm so much fun to be around.
Yeah, I can take or leave you.
I'm just a good hang.
MS.
Really good hang.
I love watching your wife's facial expressions.
Yeah.
Saying these things.
Lead singer. That's all I have to say. Lead singer.
I don't know. I want to talk a
That's
little
all
bit
you
more
would ever
about
do.
that if
Yeah,
we
I like
could.
this.
All right, but
I have a lot of questions.
You do?
Yeah.
Yes, because
About-
I'd like to finish this
Okay,
conversation.
good. I would talk about that, but I also we're not going to have time at this moment. When we come right back, I want to talk about transgender bathrooms with Lisa.
yes.
She's been a big fan of them. We got the juice with JoJo today. We get in Swiggy with Ben Swig, Lisa Out Loud. You know who I have coming in today? I have Sonia. Sonia, I'm going to get her last name wrong.
Just tell me her name.
Sarandalo. I don't know. She's from Miles from Moffatt. She's going to be in today. Ben, do you have a caller calling in today, or is that still rumored?
It's still rumored. It's still in the works. Working with his agent.
Is your caller awake?
He's awake. I know he's in Chicago for the draft. We
Okay.
might possibly have Rondy Barber on the show. But
All right. And then we also have Dr. Smith from the
HangIVer Bar.
HangIVer Bar.
HangIVer Bar.
Is there somebody on the line? Is that what that's saying, or is she just telling us pick who's most loyal? Do you have someone on the line? 'Cause- all right, we'll speak to that person real quick.
well, no, we have to go to commercial.
Yeah, but I know we do. We have a minute. I'm okay.
We had a minute 3 minutes ago.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How are you?
Hey, it's Avo here in disguise.
Oh, Avo, sneaky.
Oh, we just dropped the line. That's terrible.
Snap.
Avo, you there?
First call with us.
Oh my God, though, by the way, he came in, Mike Kelta, they did a live audience show on Friday. And I told him, I said, I appreciated it. It made me feel so good about myself and my body after watching a lot of what happened in the studio.
So you're
on
I
Friday.
saw some of
So you're a
that
hater.
on
Oh my God.
Instagram.
No, I appreciate that they have the confidence to, but it is not for me.
Well, everybody, you have it tuned in the Miggs and Swig show. We're going to talk life out loud, and as I like to say, we're going to ease you into your Sunday morning or slide you out of your Saturday night. For Ryan,
your
that's what we're doing. When we get back, I'm going to do this again because it went so well the last couple weeks. I'm going to give one lucky caller a free dinner for two, up to $100 at Tampa's hottest new restaurant, the Sacred Pepper.
Restaurant. There's your Long Island coming out again.
So good.
All you have to do is call us at 1-800-771-1025 and tell me something good. You know what? Because we're talking about the thing we're talking about, when we get back, we're going to let Jackie be the one to tell us something. And I see she has a whole story about friends cheating on friends.
Yeah,
or
I don't know
whatever.
if that's going to qualify for
It's
under
something
something
good.
good.
I'm going to still give it to her, though. Hey, you listen to the Miggs and Swig show. Back after these words. Hey everybody, welcome back, Miggs and Swig. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here in the studio, and boy, you could feel the energy in here.
There's a lot going on in here today.
There's a lot going on. there was a lot going on last night. We went to the
Heart Ball.
The Heart Ball.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty.
I heard
cool.
you guys.
It was nice, actually. They raised a lot of money. Oh
Where was it at again?
It was at the Marriott. Can't wait to talk to you about that.
Okay.
It was interesting because we do typically go to events where if we're doing an event like that, usually it's like a family thing, and so we know a lot of people. And Lisa and I just went solo, and we wound up seeing a lot of people that we knew. But it was an interesting
Meeting some new people that we liked. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was fun.
And I'm sure Don worked the room like.
No, Don doesn't work the room.
You're
Don
so full of it,
works the
Don. I mean,
room.
He does work the
you are
room.
in such
Lisa, did
denial
I-
about your social aptitude.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I mean,
You know what's cool,
he's
though?
really in denial about it,
When-
is he not?
He has a
I
little
mean, he
bit,
talks
yeah.
about how he doesn't not good with people. And he doesn't like going
Oh my
to these
God,
things,
he's
but he
the
gets
best with people.
He gets there.
I'm the
and
best with you, baby.
You are, but you're the best
You're
in
best
general with
schmoozer
people.
I know.
I'm
He is
not a
He
schmoozer.
could talk to
Oh,
anybody
I-
and they would talk back to him.
But no, I don't think he's schmoozing. I think he's genuine.
Thank you.
Okay, but
Yes.
maybe schmoozing was the wrong.
I think
but
because he completely engages. It's just funny that he never wants to go anywhere or
Right.
do anything,
Right.
and then he goes and he's like the
The
belle,
bell of the ball.
ball.
Oh, he was last night.
Okay, so schmooze maybe
we
not
brought
the
our
right
own
word, but-
wine. Let's put it that. Excuse me. Let's put it
Well,
that way.
he has a tendency to do that. And,
Well, we are- you
usually
know,
he
we
brings
are-
his own tequila, so at least it's nice to know that he's taking a step down and got a
Still
little
in
more.
the family.
Ben,
like
I'm
that.
doing the best I
Stay
can.
classy, Don. Stay
Hey, so
classy.
before
Keep
the
it
break,
classy.
we were talking about being friends with people, exes, and your friends being friends with friends that they're no longer friends with. But it was a whole big to do. And if you really don't know what I'm talking about, neither do I. And go back and listen to
Can
it.
I just add something?
You're going to. You're already halfway there.
Thank you, because somebody who actually went through divorce and had to
And we shunned you
and had,
for a while.
You did shun
Shunned.
me, and Don, you never really liked me, and Lisa never really
Well,
liked me.
I'm going to
No,
interrupt you.
no,
Wait.
I think-
Can I tell you why I didn't like you?
no.
Wait, let me tell you right now. Very first day. Day number 1.
My ears are exploding.
By the way, that is July 24th, or 23rd, I mean. We're shopping for jeans because I only brought shorts the day I flew down here to Lisa, and we were going to go out to dinner. And I have
First
to get
day
on-
we ever had sex.
Yeah, hey, there you go. I have to get on a phone call with Ben and everyone saying how we're going to deal with this and the thing. And I'm like, what do you mean how we're going to do it? Why am I having a conversation with all
Deal
of you
with
people?
what?
How I'm going to
That
deal?
was so stupid. I don't know why we
Remember
ever
Wait,
did that.
Whoa.
You don't even remember.
No, it was
No,
Scott.
it wasn't me.
No, it was Scott. No, but
It
he
was-
was on there and he said, look, we're
Because
going
you were on Tiffany's side about the whole thing, though.
Well, he didn't
No,
know,
I
but
was.
now
You
he's
kind of
figured-
were.
I remember this.
I'm
I
hugging him.
remember
Hang
this.
on.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Oh boy.
There
Here we
was
go.
there was hold on. We're gonna hug it out.
Okay. It's worked out okay
Worked
for
out-
us.
But hold on. My deal was that I was concerned that there was a break in and I was still married to Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
And I was concerned that there was going to be a break in the relationship because of whatever
And there
problem.
was.
And there was.
There was.
So that was the point of the call and how we're going to deal with this. And because the worst thing that can happen was if Dawn came in to the family, married you. And
As
started-
Yoko Ono.
Exactly, Yoko Ono, and started causing
Yoko
rifts
Dono.
between you and your sister, and that would be a terrible outcome, and it happens all the time, right?
And it did happen.
And it did happen.
It did happen.
But Scott and I decided to get on the phone with Dawn and say, okay, how it's going to happen? You guys are in love. You guys are going to be a couple. How are we going to make this?
By the
thing
way,
work?
in your defense, seriously, you were the one that said that.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was like, well, they had their issues. And I'm
Because
like,
they wanted you to go.
and I said, I'm going to be the
quite
same
frank.
guy. I will be the same guy in 10 years that I am right now. And I want to ask you, am I close to the same guy?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Oh,
I didn't.
Joe.
I mean, look.
JoJo, you liked him.
I never.
I met him on my birthday.
I never really had a problem with you. I really didn't. I just.
well, you couldn't have. You didn't know him.
Right. But
But that's what I don't understand
Could-
about.
Neither did Scott and Tiffany, for
think
that
the
matter.
I think the whole point was how quickly
It happened.
it all happened.
But
And-
but
and-
I don't understand why that ever has anything to
Ben,
do.
I threw
with-
some magic on my girl.
Still
I
talking.
mean, I threw-
still
sorry.
talking. But I don't. What does it matter if it's 2 days and you guys wanted to get married, 2 years and you wanted to get married? People are married for 10 years, 20 years, and then they don't work.
Yeah, but
if
for
you work and you
almost
want to
50
be
years.
together and you want to get married, then get married. And if in 5 years it doesn't work,
But
then get
but
unmarried.
For
God,
me,
I love
for
you
me,
for your
for,
hope.
for me, and Lisa and I, had not issues, but we clash sometimes.
No, I didn't think that you were right for Nikki
And
from
you're
the
right.
beginning.
And you're right. You're
That
right.
was my issue.
Okay.
I didn't have
We're
an issue
working
with
this
you.
all out now.
And you're
No,
absolutely
I
Migs
had
and
an
Swig
issue
show.
with. I thought Nikki didn't choose the right person in the beginning. I
and
liked
you're
you.
right. And
I
you're
didn't
right.
like you for her.
And the fact is that you and I get along better now than we did when I was married to your sister.
Much
and,
better.
And Nikki
We got
and,
Jackie,
and Nikki
right.
and I get along better today
Yeah.
when we're
Right.
married.
But
the
thank
point-
God you had the kid,
But the
though.
point is, like, I still loved her as my sister, as I do today. I mean, today. And when you came in, I mean, you get protective.
Of course.
And then all of a sudden, you guys are like in love and like you're moving in.
My
and
dad called me a slut.
it's-
I mean,
it's-
what does
it's
that
happening
She
so
was a little
qui-
bit
It's
that day,
happening
though.
so quickly, and I
to
was
be
just
fair.
concerned, and I think that's Scott or whatever was concerned that
There's a difference between being concerned and just being a jerk, for lack of a better term.
He wasn't. Though.
I was
yeah,
never
but
a jerk.
No, but I
Tiffany-
know,
Some
that
others
people
It was
were.
more Tiffany that
people
did
were,
it.
and I don't think anybody had or has any right to judge anybody else, because I am sure that there are issues. I'm sure there are problems within every relationship, as Jackie, who is on the phone, is going to point out. Jackie, you're still there?
Hey there, how are you?
Jackie, thank you very much for waiting through all of this stuff. And because you have waited, when you're done, wait a little longer and stay on the phone and give people your information, because we are going to give you gift certificate for 2 or however many people you want to bring to the Sacred Pepper. Just tell them when you're booking it that you're booking it from Miggs and Swig show, and they'll give you up to $100 off of your meal.
Awesome, thank you so much.
That doesn't happen everywhere. I'll tell you right now, right here and now. All right, Jackie,
Right.
tell us a
First of
story.
all, I just wanted to say, you did not say Bedwa, did you really?
Yeah,
He did.
I was kidding.
he did.
I know, and I'm a little shocked about that.
I corrected him on that one, Jackie.
Good girl, good girl.
He ma-
We did choose sides. My husband and I did choose sides with a relationship with some friends. She had an affair. She eventually left him for a 20-year older, $1 million richer man.
Well,
you
can't really blame her.
Oh, that's horrible.
Come on,
That's
come on.
horrible.
I'm just kidding.
We know a lot of people like
so,
that.
So Jackie, just so reference, so we have the whole story. Who was friends with who before the relationship
Okay, we
started?
went to college with them.
With her or
They-
both of them?
With both of them.
Okay.
They met in college, and then they got married right out of college.
Mistake number
And
one.
right.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. That's just young to get married. I think.
You're probably right there. And then they both started working and everything, and all of a sudden, it was just after about a year and a half, there was this guy she was saying was their friends, and he was a lot older, owned his own business, and he would take them to Ruth's Chris every other night, and and do all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, it just looked, it was getting very suspicious. And eventually it was, it came to light that, yes, she was having an affair with this guy. He was taking her on his plane to, go to the horse races.
Do you have his phone number? I might date this guy.
So Jackie, were you? Did you pick him because you were a little jealous that she got to ride around on private plane?
I mean, she wasn't willing to build a relationship, like you do, especially if you're right out of college.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in love, you build a relationship. You both work hard. You make your money, and eventually you have something.
But that's the key. If you're in love, which clearly people make choices that they do
I think she thought
because you're not in love.
I think she thought his parents had money.
All right.
So Jackie,
she's
so you
one of those girls.
do you have any contact with her anymore? Or are you just purely with him?
I don't want to see her face.
Oh,
Well, so
Wow.
she's not going to be joining you at Sacred Pepper. Is that for sure, Jackie?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of character.
Yeah, I
And,
agree.
I don't have time for somebody that's more interested in money than people.
Well,
There
thank
you
you,
go,
Jackie. I'm
Jackie.
sorry we
That's
have
great.
to go, but stay on the line. 'cause
Enjoy
you're-
your meal.
Enjoy the meal. Tell us how that goes. All right, I've got to do something here.
Yes.
I've got Sonia, who I cannot say her last name, but she's going to come up here
Oh,
and
my
speak
God.
with us. So let me just tell you, this is Miles for Moffatt. Research shows that an active lifestyle can help prevent some forms of cancer. So Moffatt Cancer Center has decided to put their money where their heart is and basically take over the past 10 years, runners, walkers, supporters of Miles for Moffatt have raised more than $3 million for critical cancer research. You visit milesformoffatt.com to learn how you can participate on May 14th. Join us at USF Sundome to walk, run, whatever you want to do. I don't care how you get there. It's a 1 mile, 5K, 10K, 15K challenge, Kids Dash. Miggs and Swig, we have a show, right? I mean, a team. Jensen, you there with me, babe? You near a line to tell me?
She's not near a mic.
So how can people donate to the Miggs and Swig through the Miggs and Swig team? Because we're already up at like $2,000.
She's a little close to Jamie over there.
Yeah, quickly, because
right
Sonia's
now we
more
have
important.
10 members, and we're up to $2,000. Our goal is $10,000. If you go to the Miggs and Swig Facebook page, you can see where you can sign up, or you just go to Miles for Moffatt's main page.
Just go to my dad. Just go to my dad.
And ask him for the money.
Go to Miggs and Swig Facebook page.
Or just the Miles for Moffatt main page, and it says join a team, and type in Miggs and Swig, and then you'll join our team and help raise some money.
Jensen,
Sonia,
please put it on my socials.
How are you doing, Sonia?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show today.
What
and
is your
thank you
last
for the
name?
Team. It's Surrendolo.
Surrendolo.
It's a mouthful. I know.
well,
it's a good old Italian last name.
I was going to say
There
that
you
Italian.
go. Good Italian girls here.
So,
not good.
How long have you been with the organization? What is it? Yeah, whatever. You tell me what I've missed. Go ahead. Give me the beginning.
It's almost coming on 7 years now. I started with them as an intern in college and kind of worked my way in with the foundation. And about 5 years ago, I started working on Miles for Moffatt, kind of in smaller bits and pieces, and then eventually taking over the event organization piece of the race. So it's changed a little bit this year. We have a 15K challenge, which is new, a 10K race, which before we never had as well. So it's those two races, and then we have the 5K and then the 1 mile. Now you can walk or run it. The 5K up is timed. Everybody has timed bib. And some people don't want to be timed. That's fine. You don't have to pay attention to that. But for the elite runners who really are looking at that, we do time you. So it's a really fun day. It's family friendly kind of deal. We ask people to bring the kids out. We have a kids dash with Raymond, the Rays mascot.
Aww.
So that's pretty cool.
I could probably beat him.
Yeah,
you might be.
Not right now. You couldn't.
Why don't you sign up? No.
I'm on the team.
We're going to be pushing him in a wheelchair.
Longo. Evan Longoria has been a huge supporter of Moffatt in general, and especially Miles for Moffatt the last few years. So he has a team, and it's an awesome event. 100% of the money raised goes back to the researchers at Moffatt, which is kind of nice that it stays in your backyard.
What does Evan typically raise? Because we're about to beat him.
Good point. Let's do a
I
challenge.
think as of the last few days when I looked, he was approaching the 10,000 mark. If he hasn't,
I don't mean beat him like beat him. I meant like maybe we'll get 1/10 of what he raises. Because that's all we have right now.
I think he opened his own children's cancer ward, so I think we're
behind
the 8
behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
How many people normally participate in Miles for Moffatt every year?
So last year we had about 6,500.
Wow.
show up.
Oh my God.
Our largest amount was a couple years ago. We had 7,500, and that was the max. We actually had to close registration down that morning. Safety issues on campus. We just couldn't fit more than that. This year I'm anticipating between 5,000 and 6,000. It's really hard to guess though, guys, because the last week is when everybody rushes to the website to register, and that's when you just see the numbers fly.
The influx.
Why would it be lower though this year? Is there?
Well, the event started with a fundraising minimum this year. It was something new. We'd never done that before. And again, with the goal of raising more money for research, we asked people to fundraise to reach 250, and it wasn't well received in the community, and we got some feedback and we listened, and we're just asking that they help to raise that. It's a suggested amount. It's no longer mandatory.
I mean, come on, just help raise the money.
Really?
Stop arguing
Don't
over
complain
it.
about it.
Jeez Louise, you want something free instead of doing anything to help anyone. Get off your butt and do something good. Miles for Moffatt, MOFFITT. Make sure of that .com, and you can get in on this thing.
So what's the target amount? I'm not people, but the amount raised. How much do you have a target amount you'd like to raise this
we
year?
want to make this $1 million event.
Let's do it.
That's been our goal for the last couple of years, and
Not
so
here on the show.
Don's gonna write it. Don will write a check for you after the show.
You take a third-party
that's our
check from
hope.
Des Moines? No?
Des Moines.
Oh my gosh.
Des
How much have you
Moines?
raised in the last few years?
Well, so last year we raised around $660,000.
In one morning.
In
That's
one
pretty
year,
good.
pretty good.
Wow,
So
that's great.
For one day, one event, that's you're there bright and early, and in a few hours it's over, and it's like nothing ever happened.
So Jack, one last time, tell people how they can get in touch or sign up and run and all that.
So milesformoffatt.com. You can register, you can donate, you can join a team or join
Miggs and
an
Swig team.
individual, or you can be, or the Miggs and Swig team, of course. You can be a virtual runner on the team too. That's something that's pretty neat. Like your friends from afar, they say, "Oh, I can't come into town that weekend." Oh, well, you know what? Here's a virtual runner bib. There you go. Print it out. Run.
that's
So I can run on my couch
You
from
can run
home.
on your couch.
I'm a virtual runner.
Can Ben use?
Perfect.
Do you guys take bells? Because he'll be using a bell. We unfortunately have to go to commercial, but thank you so much.
Thank
We're going to
you,
talk about
guys.
this some more.
Thanks for
People,
having me.
please get in on this thing, JoJo.
And you don't even have to get off your off your butt like you said.
That's
you
a
can
good
sit on your
point.
butt yet and still run.
JoJo, you got the Pepin. All right, but we're going to do a Pepin ticket giveaway too, which is going to be great. You're going to say
We
how
love
we're going
the
to do that.
Pepins. We were with them last night.
And JoJo has the juice. She's going to be talking about a bunch of things. I'm presuming Kelly and Michael getting into this conversation. Yeah?
Yes, we'll work them in. We'll work in a little bit of Lil Kim coming up after the break here on the Miggs and Swig Show.
All right. Well, Sonia from Miles for Moffatt. That was wonderful.
She's darling.
That was wonderful. Hey, do yourself a favor and do something good for the rest of the world. Dang it. All right. And go to Miles for Moffatt and I don't know. Do you have to / dot something Miggs and Swig?
Miles for Moffatt.
.com. Yeah.
JJ always looks a little nervous, a little
I know.
scared, nervous. Like,
Could you put her on the spot?
Milesformoffatt.run.
All right, there you go.
And if you
she doesn't
can't-
want to use the mic near her,
And
Ryan.
if you can't run,
if you can't run, walk.
and still that,
get
or
in
still donate, still go
Yes.
in. It's I didn't realize 100% went right back into.
I didn't know that either.
That's not a lot of
That
people
even
do.
makes it
Mhm.
better to do.
You want to do something great?
Yes.
We will
Spit
give
all over
you.
myself.
I'll give you $500 to Sacred Pepper for a meal if you carry Ben for
How much?
the 3 miles.
Oh, I'll
if you
do
do
it.
the Miles for Moffatt, but you carry Ben, and
I'll-
it could be 3 of you carrying him, but you
Don't
could
you
put
get
him on
free meals
something.
there already,
Oh,
JoJo?
my
Put him on
God.
something. 4 of you carry Ben for the 3
No.
miles. I'll get you whatever you want for dinner.
For $500, I will carry him fireman style through the whole thing by myself.
You will for 3 miles.
Fireman.
For $500,
For 3
which
miles.
of course I don't have to go to the hospital afterwards. But
Look,
JJ, will you research adult strollers?
And adult diapers, if you don't mind. Both of
We can
those.
find those.
Hey, you know
They
we
sell
didn't get
those.
to. So we do this thing on the show because we're kind of a big deal where we talk about things that you guys have already really probably talked about ad nauseum, and then we bring it up later. But on Monday there was a trending topic, and the trending topic was transgender.
Monday.
We gotta fix whatever that is. I say we abort that.
Monday.
I'd rather
I
you
like
do
that.
it, Joe.
JoJo, you could do it. Do it again.
Monday.
Wait a minute. Last week when I got picked up here, the driver, I forget where I was going. No, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The driver.
Oh, you were going to
Matt.
Burns.
Matt was the driver.
Matt he was like, "Can you tell me, is JoJo hot?" I said,
Did
"Yeah."
he
and I
say-
You
showed
were
her a
like,
picture.
did you see her walk out of the studio?
How did
he
not
didn't
tell
see.
me that?
He was like, her voice is so sexy.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
He's
Thanks,
cute,
Matt.
Joe. Matt's cute.
Okay.
cute.
Hey, Matt, if you're out there, for you, Joe's just going to do this for a couple minutes on the line.
And
Well,
I hope
And if
Eddie
you're-
Mitchell's listening right now.
And if you were like him and you're wondering what, because he has a very sexy voice, let me tell you guys, the face matches the voice.
It does.
Get wise.
Aw.
Get wise.
Get wise. Date
Thank
JoJo.
you.
Find JoJo. She's single.
Get her out of her hair.
sweetest.
And ready to mingle.
her out
And
of
that's
our
not
hair.
the trending topic for Monday. We were talking transgender bathrooms. Go. And
we're
Lisa,
talking transgender I know.
You don't have that much time.
I don't
She
have that
has
much
all
time.
the time. You take as
Listen,
much time as you want.
Thank you, JoJo. First of all, I would like to applaud Target because they made a public position last week that anybody who is a transgender team member of Target or guests can use a restroom that they feel fit for their gender. So now all of a sudden, I feel like there's this conservative Christian organization called the American Family Association that is protesting this. And honestly, do people out there not understand that gay, transgender, LGBT, whatever. These people have been using your restrooms forever.
Yes.
This is common sense, people. They've been using it forever.
I mean, didn't we also learn about segregated bathrooms back in
way
this?
back
it's done.
when,
we
where
don't
it
need
was-
separate bathrooms.
By the way,
blacks, whites.
a creep is a creep is a creep. It doesn't matter which bathroom you tell them they can or can't use. If they want to get in somewhere, they will.
And now they're
Jamie.
drawing, I feel like this
Jamie.
organization is actually drawing attention to make creeps go into the wrong bathroom.
That's what all those things do.
It's
And by the way,
terrible.
when you're going to name your organization, take American out of it.
American
or Christian.
Family Association.
Right. Well,
yes.
Just be an association.
Just be
heavy on the S association.
just heavy on the ASS
Good
part of
God.
that. But it's just sad because actually Target has restrooms that are just for one person also that you can go in. So if someone's not comfortable going in the multiple stall restroom, they can go in a single one. But I applaud Target for actually doing this, and they're taking a stance on it.
There you go,
I mean, because
Target.
when you think about it too, like if Ben is out somewhere with Izzy, his 3-year-old, and she has to go to the bathroom, what is he supposed to do?
He has to take her in the men's room.
Oh.
I know, which is gross,
Gives
isn't
me
it?
heebie-jeebies.
It is,
I had
but-
to
but
take
it's
her
the
to
reality.
I had to take her in Amalie Arena men's bathroom when
But
we went to go see Disney.
I tell her to
It was-
pee her
But
pants.
what it should be is it should just be a family bathroom. It should just be individual restrooms that are floor to ceiling,
Right.
walled. You can go in.
Right. You
Any
would
one of
actually
them.
save a lot of room.
Some
Yeah.
places have that. I know Nordstrom's. There's a lot of places that have a family restroom.
Not only that, you
no,
can
just
actually.
anywhere, not male and
Anywhere.
female.
Right.
You have your own individual
bathroom.
And Joe, if
that
you still
walk
want a
into.
urinal, you can even have a room that has urinals in it that actually you have to walk into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're saving the world. Hey, 1-800-771-1025. You're listening to The Bone, and we have a little bit of the juice.
And now, talking about the juice with
JoJo.
Rolling down the screen, searching headlines, talking about the juice. Here's
JoJo.
I don't know why that never gets old for me.
It does not.
This past week, Kelly Ripa returned to Kelly and Michael.
Did she look ripped?
She
always does.
She does. Does. Yes.
She's cute. She's just cute.
It was super awkward. She made a lot of passive aggressive comments, which Michael, if you watched, his face was very unresponsive to a lot of it, and he just tried to move forward after everything was said. They did move up his departure date from the show. It was supposed to be like, I guess, in 4 months, which I don't understand because the show doesn't air live over the summer, or does it? Oh, okay, it does still. So that's why he'll actually be departing the show on May 13th. So
that's in
2 weeks.
12 days.
Yes.
Right before we do Miles for Moffatt.
Maybe.
That's Friday the 13th.
Maybe I'll call him and see if he'll join us.
That'd be nice of you.
You know, good friend of mine, Michael.
Oh,
where's the microphone?
We make our own sound effects here at Miggs and Swig. But there's been rumor. There's been a list of different possible co-hosts.
Are you joining the show and leaving us?
I'm sorry, you guys.
Kelly and JoJo.
I did get the call. No, I didn't. But Mario Lopez
And they
has
asked
been
if you knew
rumored.
somebody?
The Rock, Andy Cohen. One on the top of the list is Neil Patrick Harris.
I think he'd be great.
Oh.
We are going to have relations.
He is a phenomenal actor.
He is.
He can do anything.
yes.
He really can do anything.
Yeah.
Or anyone.
Or anyone. As long as you, yeah.
Even then, speaking of relations, what are we at now that it's May 1st? We're starting the 5th month
Joe,
of the
I'm
year.
glad you asked. Let me just tell you.
my
We're
God.
only 2 more up
Can we
from
go
last week.
1 week without talking about Lisa and
I need to
Don's
live
sex life?
vicariously.
It's been, we've had 11 for the month of April.
That
Not
was
bad.
good.
We're at 36 total. For
Okay.
the,
Right,
for
we had
the,
and you had a
this
month.
week.
And you had a month.
and
off.
we had a month off.
Well, he tried
Anybody-
to get me last night before the month ended, but it was like 11:45, and I said, I'm
babe,
too
we got
tired.
15 minutes. Let's just. And by the way, if you want to know how we're doing versus last year at this time, by the end of last year we were 34, so we are 3 up from last year,
And you had a month off.
and we had a month off.
It's pretty good.
Ladies and
Pretty good.
gentlemen, thank
I'm
you.
real proud.
Thank you. I'm real proud of my girl.
I need to get.
I taught her everything she knows,
In
and she
case
knows.
anybody was wondering, Lil Kim,
Lil,
rapper,
Lil Kim.
Lil.
Lil.
Only a
L-I-L.
name is she Lil.
she's white now.
She's white.
What? She Michael Jackson?
She is it looks nothing of her former
And
self.
by the way, during the Lisa Out Loud segment, we're going to have Dr. Smith from the HangIVer Bar here, and
Okay.
she can explain to you why Little Kim is white.
Okay.
I'm Googling
There's a
it right
whole
now.
thing
Wait, I gotta
behind
Google
it.
this.
Please
All right.
do. You're not even going to recognize
yeah,
her.
Google
Oh
it.
my
But
God.
there's
Yeah,
something
she
behind
did.
why she is white.
I've always.
Because she's not proud to be black? I don't understand why people do that.
I don't know, but
Dr. Smith can tell you how to make yourself
Okay,
white.
I can't wait
Why
to.
would you want to make yourself white?
It's very interesting. She can
I'd like
explain
to
it.
make myself one night with Lil Kim.
Oh, come
You-
on.
You
I
have
tried.
Nadia.
I know.
Get me
I'm
the
just
bell.
saying. I'm not saying that I would. I'm just saying, there's always been something about Lil Kim, like the way
'Cause
she's
she's
dirty.
slutty and
she's
dirty.
slutty, and I think she would be phenomenal
By the way,
in the rapper.
You could just go anywhere in
saying.
Tampa
In the
and
what?
find slutty.
in the rapper.
Find some good slutties.
Oh, okay.
Remember that? Where'd she go?
Nobody cares about
I think it was the Grammys where she had the boob out and a little pasty on the boob.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't see this.
Have you seen your wife's boobs?
I'm going to
They're
tell.
phenomenal.
I am going to tell you, I just lost the.
The last amount of respect you had for me.
Oh my God, that is the most awful thing that you.
Why?
And because there are a lot of
Wait, is
dirtier,
that her?
sluttier. Yes. I'm going to tell you, I think she looks better.
That is
But I don't.
Okay. What's
Anyway.
wrong with saying that? No, seriously.
Because I don't. To me there is nothing about her that is attractive.
I agree, but except for her sluttiness, and I
But there's
said.
way hotter, sluttier girls.
All I said is there's something about Lil Kim, the way she's dirty little mouth she has, and
There's
the way she
dirtier
raps.
mouths.
I'm just saying, in my
Oh my
opinion,
gosh, your
she
wife
would be
must be so
great in
proud.
the rapper. That's it.
No.
She must
She'd
be so
good in
proud.
bed. I mean,
Okay,
that's,
honestly, and I'm looking at some images of her right now. In some of these images, she actually.
and her voice is like. I feel like she talks like.
But tell
like
me-
this, and she's
Joe, does she not look Asian in some of these pictures?
She looks
too?
like Latoya Jackson.
She looks like
Oh
she
my
did
gosh.
something to her eyes.
Hey, you're listening to Miggs and Swig Show, 1-800-771-1025. We're starting to really, what's the word? We're dropping.
yeah,
We're dropping.
Oh, we are not.
Oh,
Go, Joe.
People want to hear this.
They do.
Yeah.
I hear
like it.
radio stations clicking off all around America. Well, or in Tampa.
Thanks for the boost there, Migs.
Yeah. Just because you don't want to have sex with Lil Kim.
Really?
I get a little Kim.
or admit it.
I'll pretend I'm
I
Lil'
get
Kim
my
for
Lil'
you.
Kim.
Ew, 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 why did I say that?
ABC has ordered a 10-episode revival of the 60s, 70s, and 80s game show, The Match Game, and the host is none other than Alec Baldwin.
What?
He will be funny as all get out.
I'll actually watch it if he's hosting it.
The upcoming reboot will debut as part of a Sunday night programming block that already includes Celebrity Family Feud, which is hosted by Steve Harvey, and one of my favorites, the $100,000 Pyramid, which is going to be hosted. And Ben, if you could get me on this show,
Why me?
I'll find Lil'
'cause it's
Kim for
somebody I
you.
know? Who's hosting?
Michael Strahan.
Really?
Is he really?
I mean,
Yes.
Michael Strahan, it's unbelievable. I swear to God, in name drop. Last conversation I had with Michael, we were in LA, and I was like, Michael,
we're in bed.
how many Michael Strahans are there? I'm convinced there's 2 of them.
Because he's all over
he's
the place.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, he's in New York.
He's making
and then
hay
he'll
while
be-
the sun
takes the red
shines.
eye.
He takes the red eye every week.
Every
but
week.
But you see him everywhere. He is everywhere. There's 2 of them. I don't know how one single human being does what he does. Now he's going to host a game show.
Yeah, $100,000 Pyramid.
And he's like, he's like Seacrest.
No,
He's
but people
everywhere.
get that for a
Everywhere.
minute. People get that for a minute where they become that person, and you make hay while the sun shines.
Well,
That's
GMA
what I-
is in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then he has time later.
Yeah, so anyway, the Match Game will debut this summer on June 26th at 10 o'clock.
Is that-
Tell me the date again and time.
Wait,
I'm going to write that
is
down.
the match game the 2-2 Chuck Woolery? No, that's not the match. That's
No, it was, what's his name?
That's Love American Style. I don't know. What is
Chuck
that?
Woolery back in 2-2. The
Yeah,
dating game.
the
No,
dating
what-
game.
Was it dating
Love
game?
Connection.
Love Connection. That was a great show.
It was a great show.
We'll be back
All
in
right.
2-2.
Gene Rayburn hosted
Yes.
Match
All right,
Game.
go on.
Rayburn.
Go on, JoJo. She's like, I'm out.
That's all that I have. But
That is all you have? Well,
it was a slow news week.
really? Well, Joe, I can add to
Besides all the
The what?
it. The what?
The
Joe?
what?
What are
Did you go on a date?
no, but I cannot say enough. Just so you guys know, because it was 97 degrees, my car read the other day. But I don't care about that because I don't sweat under my armpits.
Remember that reggae song? 98
Oh my! Wait, actually, we do need to.
shade.
We do need to tell people about our friends.
At South Tampa Dermatology. I'm not kidding you. I was very skeptical initially, and then it was, it'll take effect in 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, when I forget about it and don't pay attention to it anymore, then I swear to you, I am always dry. It is the weirdest, coolest
everywhere?
thing.
Oh my gosh!
No, not everywhere.
Listen, if you want to speak,
that didn't dry up.
If you want to speak with people in South Tampa,
still works.
It's South Tampa Dermatology.
He got it right.
Yes.
Call 813-872-9551, or you go to
stderm.com. And they do more than Botoxing armpits, but they'll do all over skin checks for cancer. Lisa has gone to them for tattoo removal.
Oh, and you know
what else I did?
Wait, you know what they're doing with your tattoo thing, by the way? You go to the first 3, if you're getting a tattoo, your tramp stamp removed, first 3 times you go, and the 4th one is free, so you got to check that out.
stderm.com.
And we also... go ahead.
All right. You obviously have it to Miggs and Swig's show here on your Sunday afternoon. When we get back, we're going to get swiggy with it, and we're going to talk about the NFL draft and what the hell the Tampa Bay Bucks were thinking.
Ben's standing right now. Is your back in pain?
Well,
what
I got to keep on moving. Because I have back problems, and if you have back problems, nice segment. Teed it up pretty nice there. Segue. Please call Laser Spine Institute. Over 60,000 patients can't be wrong. Out of those 60,000, I am one of them. I saw them from a bad back. Couldn't walk into surgery. That day of surgery, they cut me open with a little 1-inch incision, fixed my back, and I walked out of there. So if you have any back problem or neck problem, call Laser Spine Institute, 844-899-BACK. Tell them the Miggs and Swig sent you, and they will give you a no-cost MRI review. You have it tuned to the Miggs and Swig Show. We will be right back.
All right, everybody, pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
Get ready for Miggs and Swig. Don Miggs, Ben Swig, JoJo, Lisa, and JJ. From music to marriage, from politics to parenting, from dating to deep thoughts of sports. This is one show you don't want to miss. Miggs and Swig, Life Out Loud.
Let's get the show on the road.
I'm telling you, we have so much going on in this show today. We haven't even gotten to you, JoJo. You're doing this Brews with Attitude. And then we're going to need you to, you're giving away 2 tickets. Can you tell people how they can get tickets from you? In the next segment, we're going to be giving away tickets. And the number is 800-771-1025. Joe's going to randomly take someone, I guess, and she has tickets for 2. There's Tampa's Ultimate Annual Craft Beer Festival, Brews with Attitude, and it's back for its 6th year. And this year, it has a whole new experience. So you can join JoJo from the Miggs and Swig team. She's going to be bringing someone. I don't know if she's going to Tinder to get that person to go with her, how she's rolling.
But sounds like fun if I liked beer.
Tuesday, May 10th from 6 to 10 p.m.
Our anniversary.
At T. Pepin's Hospitality Center.
Yes.
And they're going to celebrate the art of beer. There's going to be over 100 craft beers and ciders to sample from. Tampa's favorite food trucks, live entertainment, which will mostly be JoJo really drunk, one-off craft beer releases, variety of hand-rolled cigars, and more. You can find pre-sales, advance, and 6-pack deals on www.brewswithattitude.com. There'll be several price rises until the event, so get them now. You can always go to BudweiserTampaBay.com too. The first, she'll take 2 tickets for someone. I don't know, first person to call.
I thought JoJo was supposed to talk about that.
She can't find it, so I just helped her.
And I'm sorry, I thought I had it up.
By the way, I really just helped you.
No, you did. I'm sorry. I thought you were just taking over what she was supposed to say as you and Ben, you and Swig.
We have not been doing that today.
All I know is I'm getting completely turned on here. Because there are needles out and there's vials. And being a recovering, heroin.
No, you
being a recovering heroin addict, even when I see a needle today and that bottle going, I don't know.
I love these needles. They're B12 shots.
That is horrible.
I'm a sick person.
You are
more
sick.
Important, what we have with us today. Well, let's at least talk about it.
They're vicious and they're very loud.
If you're gonna be loud, you gotta be proud.
Lisa out loud.
And now, Lisa DiBartolo, Migs.
Is it true? Do I actually get my own segment today?
You did. You
Thanks.
No,
you're already talking.
Mine.
You're already talking.
Mine.
Stop. Right, we switched segments. So Swiggy with it's going to be after me. So anyway, so a few months ago, my sister Nikki, she and her husband started talking to us about this IV hydration that they started to get like once a week, and these B12 shots, and how they felt so good, and they kept talking about it. And Migs and I just kind of thought, okay.
It's Don, her husband.
Well,
I like you calling me Migs.
It's Miggs and Swig show, so I'm trying to
There
use
you go.
your
You're
show
being very
name.
professional.
You are.
God, you're hot.
Oh,
All right, stop.
God, would you
So
stop it?
talk. Go on.
Anyway, so they kept talking about this IV place and Dr. Smith from the IV place and blah, blah, blah. And so Don and I decided to try it. And I have to tell you, especially I feel like these B12 shots that we've been doing for probably a little over a month now, I feel like I have so much energy. And I don't drink coffee, but this feels like a coffee boost for a whole week to me.
I'm coming over for a poke.
Oh, jeez.
Not from you. I meant from Dr. Smith.
Anyway, I
strap it on.
want Dr. Smith, who is here, to kind of explain a little bit about what you do and how you help
You want
people.
the big needle or the little needle?
Oh, the little one.
You talk in that microphone when you talk.
Okay.
Lisa's
Do you want
only
me to
used
get
to the
poked
little
first?
one, so.
I'm going to get poked first.
Ben, I have to disagree with you there. I am used to the bigger needle.
I hate
Anyway, so at the Dr. Smith, at your place, the HangIVer Bar, which you're actually going to be remarketing and renaming.
That's correct.
Can you tell us a little? Honey, she's a
Okay.
professional.
Are you
She
ready?
can give you a shot and
1,
talk at the
2,
same time.
3.
Oh, he didn't scream.
He didn't scream.
So
And we're all done.
there
we're
are
done.
different cocktails,
I'm
if
out.
you will.
Are you in yet? Are you done yet?
Different vitamins and treatments that you can get.
No, you're good.
He's gonna be crying. Oh, please don't act like you're falling over. Oh my! See, now I could get my shot and talk at the same time. I have no problem doing that. But anyway, can you explain a little bit about what you do and how you help people? And we want to know why Lil Kim is white.
Okay, so we do mostly IV hydration. We also do some vitamin shots, like you mentioned, the vitamin B12 and B complex shots as well. We do some antioxidant shots as well as IV antioxidants. And we help athletes recover from dehydration. We help people improve their immunity. We help people when they're acutely sick, like from food poisoning or hangover. And we just help people recover from jet lag or just fatigue and exhaustion.
You helped me when I had that cold for like 2 weeks, and I got the hydration, and I felt better
I
immediately.
love the
and-
hydration.
yeah.
Yes.
I love that whole thing.
Yeah.
So the
After the needle gets you, right?
I'm going to go in for mine.
The
Depends on
question that
the
you had
needle.
about Little Kim, though, it's quite common for people to use high dose vitamin C and glutathione, which is an antioxidant. When you combine them, they actually can lighten your skin.
Can it help melasma?
It can.
This on my forehead.
It can, as long as you are aggressively using sunblock to cover it up.
Which I do. I wear a hat. I even have it with me.
And
My
you have
face
to
never
use
is in the
pretty
sun.
high sunblock SPF, and you have to reapply it multiple times throughout the day. And it doesn't matter whether you're indoors or outdoors; you still need to use your sunblock.
And by the way, real doctor, so which is good. When people
No,
think,
she doesn't just play
no,
one
no,
on
when people think
television.
about like when they think about the place, they think it's sort of. Some people think it's almost like a gimmick,
Right.
Yes.
and it's not a gimmick. Stay on that microphone, by the way. But I do need to know, as a doctor, if you can just tell me Ben Swig is alive. You're sure? Because we're not certain. I just want to make sure he is alive. Just there he is. You see?
Pulse, yes.
All right, good.
Put on the gloves. I mean, we're doing something else here. Are we going to do a prostate?
We can do butt cheek or bicep. It's your choice.
Oh, go. You want to do
we don't
butt?
want to see that.
She'll give you the needle in the butt.
Probably has more meat on it.
I like it in the butt. I don't feel it as much
Hey!
in the butt. Yes, I like it in the butt.
I hope that this needle doesn't break in these guns. I hope the needle's stronger.
All right.
She's
Lift
hitting
that sleeve up
bone
for
with
me.
that needle.
Lots of alcohol here.
So when Lisa and I started going, we didn't know, do we go every week? Do we? And we've been fortunate, really spoiled. We're having her come to the house, so we just sit
Well, there
and
is
watch TV.
There is
Ready?
a concierge
1, 2, 3.
component to what Dr. Smith does. So you can actually buy a like a membership to it, and it can have a concierge component where somebody will come to you and bring everything, and you can sit there in front of your TV and watch, or get a B12 shot in front of your TV, whatever you want to do.
If you have a question also for Dr. Smith while we are here, 800-771-1025.
Okay.
So Doctor, what do you recommend? And I know it's tough because it's also your business, but average person works 40 hours a week, they think they're drinking enough water, but they go out on the weekends, have some drinks. Should they be doing something like this once a week, once a month, once every other week? What's really the right thing, or is it?
Some of it depends upon not just if you're working 40 hours a week, but if you're also aggressively exercising, like if you're in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, if you're traveling, getting on and off of planes all the time, if you're chasing after small children at home, all of those things we factor in. Also, your medical history is very important. If you've ever had blood work done that showed any abnormality, we get that from your primary care doctor. I am an MD, so I'm a medical doctor, and I do have a regular practice in anesthesiology, so we take all of those things very seriously. And then we make a treatment plan and we decide from there. For many healthy people that are working anywhere between 40 and 60 hours a week, traveling, exercising several days a week, have kids, many of them find that they start to feel the effects wear off at about 2 weeks. When the original research was done on the vitamin cocktail infusions, like probably 50 years ago or more, what they did is they had people get 1 IV per week for 6 weeks, and then they went down to every other week. Then they had another group that did it once a month, and then they had another group that did it once a week, and they found that the people that did the best were once a week for 6 weeks and then every other week.
Oh, like a maintenance kind of thing.
Exactly.
After that.
Now, is that just with the what's in the infusion, or is that a combination of? And what should they do once a week? I guess is it
the hydration.
The hydration.
The
hydration.
Right. And that's just. I'm sorry. That's just an IV fluid bag, or is that more?
It also has vitamins in it. So we have different vitamin cocktails. If you go on our website, you'll see.
Yeah. How do
choices.
people get in touch with you?
www.thehangIVer.com is our website, and you can give us a call at 813-HANG.
Okay, and if the people, if
wait, what's the number?
813-835-HANG.
813-835-HANG. And if they tell you, sorry, Ben, I just want to make sure, if our listeners who were very, very appreciative of how well they respond, if they call you up and say Miggs and Swig Show, is there some incentive for them to call?
Absolutely. We'll give them a free add-on. That would be one great thing to be able to do. Add on a little extra vitamin C, add on the antioxidant glutathione.
So 813-835-HANG.
And I think what a lot of people don't know and don't realize is that when you take a pill, like a multivitamin or a vitamin C, your body doesn't absorb all of those nutrients from the pill. But when you get it through the IV, your body absorbs more of it.
Correct. Close to 100% absorption intravenously, versus orally it could be as low as 20% for something like B12 or even less than that.
Well, doctor, remember we told me, Ben, listen to this. You if you drink water, or you drink, okay, I'm going to drink a bunch of water right now, and you drink a full 16-ounce thing or whatever, and you drink it in an hour, you're not getting, that's not all going into your system. Your body can only absorb 4 ounces in 20 minutes. Is that right?
Correct.
So based on that, it's like you're basically wasting the rest of it. You're peeing it out. It's not having any real effect on your body.
Correct.
And so when you do your thing, I know immediately when I'm doing the hydration because my lips start to just feel better.
Correct.
Like they're
wow. Well, I can this vitamin whatever B I just got, I feel.
No, I can't wait to hear next Sunday how you have felt all week with that B12 shot.
So it'll stay in my system all week?
Correct, yes. It may even stay longer than that. It somewhat depends on the person and the levels that you're starting
Is it going to
with.
make me a nicer person?
Yeah.
It can
you're
improve
nice,
mood.
Ben.
You are
It can
nice.
improve mood.
Oh,
Will
perfect.
it stop the bell?
We'll get his wife on the phone next week. We'll
Yes,
get Nadia on the
Nadia.
phone and ask her if it made you nicer.
800-771-1025. Lisa is speaking with Dr. Smith from the HangIVer Bar.
And I think we have to go to break pretty soon.
I think we got some time.
We got
3 minutes.
time.
I'm
We got
sorry.
plenty of time.
I'm
So
sorry.
you ready to get
I
your
don't pay
shot?
attention. I am. Yes.
All right, so
and
Lisa,
I won't flinch.
see, I can't look at this.
Really?
Oh, I love it.
You know, I grew up. My mom.
I love needles.
My mom got a lot of needles growing up, and so I just kind of got freaked out by them. I can't do it.
And now, what percentage of people doc don't like needles that you see? Is it common?
Right. How do you handle those people?
Yes.
Because I know I hear a lot of people like get freaked out about needles, and I just don't.
We're in Ben's circle. It's they all love them. They're like,
I get turned on when I see them. I mean, I don't know.
But Ben has been sober for 21 years, so
yeah.
Almost 22, 21 and a half.
Thank you, Don. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I know.
And Dr. Smith, can you tell everybody where you're located?
We are at 3415 South Manhattan Avenue in South Tampa, right on Manhattan between El Prado and Vesconio, or Beta Bay and Euclid.
You know what? We have. We're going to give you a pair of headphones because we have David on the line who has a juicing question. So
a juicing question.
Wait, there you go. Put those on. David, how are you? You are on the phone with Dr. Smith.
A real Dr. Smith.
Yes.
An MD.
MD.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I wasn't sure if you already touched on the topic, but how much of the nutrients do you get in the vegetables and fruits and stuff when you juice as opposed to just eating the vegetable or fruit outright?
A lot more, actually. So that's a very good question, and that's something that we recommend for our people a lot, especially if you're suffering from immunity problems or you've been real sick for a long time. We like to tell people to eat fresh fruit, fresh vegetables and juice, cold pressed juice as much as you can until you start to recover, because you're going to absorb a significant more of the vitamins and nutrients if your body is not having to digest as much of the food, especially meats and cheeses. When you're mixing them with your fruits and vegetables, sometimes when you combine foods, you don't absorb as well either.
Hey, okay. Well, that's great. I want one quick question more. I was curious the popularity. You hear it on the Bone and other radio stations of this. All these testosterone doctors, places, or whatever, where you can get checked and have it boosted. What is the range for a male in his 50s, early 50s? Is there a range, like what's low and what's normal?
There is. I don't know the range offhand, and it's important to see somebody that does this as part of their regular practice and is really knowledgeable about it, because you could test your levels as a 50-year-old male and your levels might fall within the normal range, but it would be a normal range for an 80-year-old.
Right. And there's also other things, your free testosterone, about how much your body absorbs. And I don't mean to brag really quick, but I just got my testosterone checked, and I'm a 43-year-old male. 1,100.
Is that what is it supposed to be?
That's about a 17-year-old, 16-year-old level.
Poor Nadia. Okay.
So and the doctor. But the funny thing, the doctor asked me if I was on any testosterone supplements because it's so abnormal for 1,100. And I said, "Do I look like I'm taking testosterone?"
Oh my God.
Thanks for calling, David.
Man.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, David, and thank you to Dr. Smith very much. The
HangIVer Bar.
HangIVer Bar.
835-HANG.
Yeah, 813-835-HANG. Thank you so much for coming in today. We do have to take a quick commercial break, but I want our Lightning fans, listen up, be a part of Bolt Nation. Buy Bud Light and get the window decal for free. Ask the store clerk for your decal. It's available at all participating Circle K stores while supplies last during round 2 of the Lightning playoffs. So go Bolts. As we come to a close on another show, it is not without a little swig action. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on the Miggs and Swig Show and get swiggy with it when we come back.
Yeah.
Hey, if you need to get a shot in the butt like Jamie just did, you make sure to call Dr. Smith, and it is 813-835
Hang.
We said Jamie's bum.
HANG.
Oh, yeah, and if you follow me on Snapchat, you can see it too.
Oh, follow JoJo.
Joanne P83.
And tell them that the Miggs and Swig Show sent you, and you will get an extra boost.
You'll be getting something.
You'll get something extra.
There are different things that you can add extra to it, like extra vitamin C, glutathione, and all kinds of different things.
And Dr. Smith, you're still here. Really quick, I did have a question that I didn't get in. As far as the process of getting rehydrated in the IV bag, how long does it take to get an IV bag through you?
for your very first visit, you'll need to do a medical clearance and have a visit with me
Right.
or one of our other physicians. Once you've done that, then it takes about 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, so you just
And
open up the bag,
correct.
basically,
And
and
then
let it
when you
go.
come back the next time after you're already an established patient, it can be pretty quick. Like
Okay. So it's not like in the
40 minutes.
hospital where they put an IV and they put it on that low drip and it takes like
No,
hours
this
and
is
hours.
the opposite
Okay,
experience in the
perfect.
And Ben, you know what? We can meet there and like just kind of chit chat.
You mean we can hang?
Well, we
you
did
and I can
it
hang
at the hang,
unless you're busy with your other friend.
Nikki, we had a party after the gala.
Oh, that's right.
And
you
everybody got him
did.
after we partied all day
That's
and all night the
right.
night before, and it was amazing.
There you go.
There you
Felt
go.
better.
Hey, I think we got a little swiggy going on.
Getting swiggy with it. Getting swiggy with it.
Alrighty then. Now it's excuse me. Finally, time to get swiggy with it, and we were gonna have, as I name drop again, obviously not that close of friends, but we were gonna have Rondé Barber call in to talk about the NFL draft.
But you do have Ryan.
We do have Ryan.
I'm all right. I mean, I guess I'm a substitute.
So Ryan is a sports. You have your own show. You want to plug when the show is? And
Yeah, I'm the co-founder and the host of the Scrum Sports LLC. We have a podcast, the Scrum Sports Podcast. You can find on radioinfluence.com as well as iTunes.
Why'd you have to put the LLC in there?
It's what our official name is.
I know, but you don't have to get all official.
Sorry.
Just say, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, go to thescrumsports.com as well.
There you go. Come on.
Okay, Lala Mansion LLC or whatever. So let's talk about the draft, Ryan.
Let's do it.
And we'll talk
Let's do it.
Let's talk about some. We'll talk about the
JoJo
Bucks
just
later
left.
because we could have a whole segment on what the hell the Bucks were thinking. But we'll talk about that later. Overall, some takeaways from your perspective on this year's draft.
I think it's a good draft. I don't want to say it's last year was a great draft. You had 4 starters strictly from the draft on your team that wound up four draftees last year that wound up being starters on your team last year. That doesn't happen usually. I think this year you've got one, maybe 2 starters. Hargraves is going to start.
Joey Bosa.
Bosa's. Here's the funny thing, though. They're so, they with their defensive line especially, you have a lot of role players on that line.
I love role playing. Now I'm in the conversation.
Talking your language now.
Got it.
McCoy obviously is the starter, but then you've got a lot of role players. If Clinton McDonald is healthy, he's probably in on almost every down. But then they've seemed to have rotated a lot of guys, especially since they haven't necessarily had a strong set defensive end.
And you said they
Simeon
rotate
Rice.
a bunch of guys because, again, JoJo's in this conversation.
I would like to get in on that
Well,
rotation.
I mean, when you talk about starters, I think are you talking about more of the skill players? Because obviously, for more times than not, the offensive tackles, left tackles that come, they immediately go into the starting thing, typically in football, and that's why they're drafted so high usually. And it was actually, I don't think one went until the fifth
round.
Pick.
We got a tackle.
Fifth, sixth pick. Go Bears, by the way, Cal Bear, my alma mater. Jared Goff, the quarterback from Cal, was the first pick to the Los Angeles Rams. And let me just tell you, maybe get JoJo a little bit more interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you Googled Jared Goff?
Oh, he's cute.
Yes.
Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Wow.
Jared Goff.
And he is going to the Los Angeles.
Either way, I'm in.
The Los Angeles Rams obviously moved back to L.A. and they will be playing in L.A. And Jared Goff is pretty much going to crush it in L.A. He's going to be the belle of the ball.
I'm going to find him this summer.
And so the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kudos to them.
Legit.
I mean,
they're legit.
They basically. I mean,
too legit?
Fowler, their pick from last year. Okay, I think he was like the 3rd or 4th pick last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tore his ACL in week 1. He hasn't played, not even week 1 in the
preseason.
Not even preseason in training camp. The first day of training camp, their number 1 pick. So he didn't play last year. So they have them. Then they got Ramsey, who I think is the best athletic player in the draft, and then they got Miles Jack, which
I'm gonna sit.
you guys are completely bored, but this is,
Hey, and if you're bored too,
I wouldn't
it's
have been
1-800
17 years ago.
771
If you have thoughts on the draft, please join us.
But don't
other
call
three,
in if you have thoughts on
call
the
in.
draft.
Please talk about it because these three are not interested.
Yeah, do that on the Drew Garabo show or something.
But so let's talk about our very own Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they did something that has not done for 18 years. I think.
Nugent, Mike Nugent, I think.
When did he go?
Nugent
was the last kicker to be
murdering.
You're talking about the kicker,
right?
yeah.
Guys, we're talking about our Bucks here.
Yes. Mike, I think it's Mike Nugent was the last
Can we
kicker
pass
to be.
the buck?
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's funny. I thought, no,
Okay.
I didn't get not one person. I'll pick
No.
that joke
I'll take
up.
a buck.
Okay,
All right,
right
if
there.
you want to.
Why don't you hit that button that blacks out the last 5 seconds?
All right, go ahead.
Mike Nugent was the last kicker to be taken as high as the second round, and that was in 2005.
And what happened to him? He was not a very good kicker.
Yeah, and then there was that Janikowski guy who's still around.
Who he went in the first round.
Yes,
and
first round
the Raiders picked Sebastian Janikowski ironically out of Florida State.
Yep.
And he's been kicking for the Raiders for 18 years. Now he hasn't been phenomenal. He hasn't been Gostkowski or Vinatieri or any of the other good kickers. And yeah, he has a booming leg.
Yeah, he does.
But I mean, was he worth a first round draft pick?
No. Kicker is never worth.
So not only that, but the Bucks traded to move up in the draft to get a kicker.
That baffled me when I first saw that they had traded, because when they got Doug Martin, they traded back up into the first round to get Doug Martin.
Understand?
I'm thinking you traded back up into the second round. Here comes a linebacker. Here comes another defensive tackle or another defensive lineman, maybe. No.
Right. Or something. When I saw it too, I thought, okay, they're gonna, because they have some gaping holes on defense.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. The Bucks are not a very good defensive team. So when they traded up, I'm like, okay, there's somebody they see that's going to help them out on defense or help them out, and then they pick a freaking kicker, kicker.
He's not.
By the way, I fell asleep. I'm not really sure.
He's not.
He's not your average kicker.
He's not just any kicker. He is actually the most accurate kicker in NCAA history.
Right.
Has never missed under 40 yards.
Right.
Ever.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
We'll bank on
He's
him
still
then.
a kicker, and he would still have been there in the third or fourth
Probably
round.
the fourth
I got
round.
a kicker.
Here's the kicker.
A ticker or a kicker?
I said I will tell you this, Ben. I said this when he was drafted. I said this is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to, because the Bucks fans, most of the Bucks fan base were outraged by it. What's going to happen is
JoJo was.
he's going to. I can tell she's already fuming about bringing it up.
Mad as hell.
Mad as hell.
Here's what's going to happen because this fan base is so fickle. He's going to miss his first kick. The fans are going to want Jason
Yes.
Light's head.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's going to
we
make.
love Jason. We'll
We
have
do
to,
love
yes.
Jason.
We'll name drop. We'll have him call in.
But then he's going to make 25 in a row. That's how it's
And
going to
then
happen.
they're gonna love him
And then they're going
again.
to love him again. But he will miss the first kick, whether it's an extra point or a 25-yard chip shot, and Bucks fans will be up in arms.
Yes.
Well, it's the thing is I guess you could say this across the board with any draft pick, right? Everybody's questioning the Philadelphia picking Wentz from a Division 2A school. And what he's going to be, picked him second in the draft. And again, you never know. Time will tell. I still believe that, kickers are a dime a dozen. Obviously, like Connor Barth last year for the Bucks
was pretty good.
Wasn't that bad.
Hey guys, I got to interrupt. There's this news flash. JoJo just broke a record: 75 tinders to the right in the time you guys have had this conversation.
Was that because my plug on her? Is that because I plugged her and her?
She's been plugged. 1-800-771-1025. Do not be confused. This is not a sports radio show. Even though right now it's a Swiggy time, and he wants to talk about it with Bob right now. You could just stop typing, just put Bob right on.
Hey Bob,
we
how
have
you
some
doing?
used needles here. I think
doing
Dr.
great.
Smith
I think
accidentally.
you guys are so wrong though about the kicker.
Oh, tell us why.
Hey, this guy's going to win us 2 to 3 games just by the line. How accurate a kicker he is. And there were a lot of close games last year that needed to kick to win.
Okay, well, you're kind of breaking up, but from what I understand, that you said that he is going to win us 2 or 3 games, and he may, and so could have Connor Barth, or so could have some other
But was that worth a second round pick?
That's my point.
You could have gotten him in the third or fourth round.
Right.
There was no reason to give up 2 picks to trade back up to the second round to get him.
And yeah, he has a great body of work.
Yes.
I mean, he is like you said.
Joe's back in.
I wanted to say hi to Sarah and Paul. They added me on Snapchat.
So, anyways, Joe's using this as her own personal Snapchat.
I mean, I'm. It's not personal. It's you're on there.
I am on Snapchat. I don't even know my name. I think
She's
it's
like, I'm just bored out of my mind right now.
I think it's B Health Font. But anyways, so
we have to go to commercial. I think.
No, we don't.
Can
don't.
we go to commercial?
Hey, Ben is now you've angered him.
Mad at me. It's all right. He always hates on everything I talk about in the juice.
That is not true.
Yes, it is so true.
I might, but I comment on it.
I'm commenting,
and I stay positive about it because it's something that does not. But the juice and the what's going on, and the Kardashians and all that doesn't do anything for me. But I'm still talking about engage in the conversation. If I have a question,
I'm engaged in the conversation. I'm listening to you.
Oh yeah, every time they say something sexual, you're into it.
Well, of course.
But I tried to get you engaged from the beginning and Google Jared Goff and
I did.
And he's hot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of has a little.
Is he on Tinder? Does he have Match.com?
I doubt it.
Would you swipe right for him?
Yeah.
All right.
But her swiping
can't be
right.
choosers these days.
Her swiping right is.
So in the famous words of Peyton Manning when him and what was it,
Mike Vanderjagt?
Mike Vanderjagt, they got into a little conversation, and I think Peyton Manning said, "We're talking about a kicker."
Yeah.
And that was his own teammate. So we're talking about a kicker in the second round of the NFL draft where teams build their future. And I don't get it. And I'm not the only one. I'm not a professional. Just go online. The Bucks have gotten the worst grade of any team out of the 32 teams because of that pick. And from anywhere from an F to a D. So
it's a little harsh.
Mark has a comment about the kicker. Mark, you're on the line.
Hey,
how you doing?
Thanks for keeping this going, Mark. We appreciate it.
You guys got to realize that the fourth pick that they traded up with was the one we got from Hargraves moving down 2 spots. So really it wasn't a pick they planned on using anyways. And we only moved up 12 spots, so it wasn't a big reach to get.
Is that what you had,
even
Joe?
placed 10 years.
Mark, are you Mark? By chance, did you go to Florida State?
No, I went to Florida and USF.
Oh,
wow.
All right. So it's funny because a lot of people.
This guy banged out like 250-plus yarders against the Gators last year, and the guy's spot on. I hate Florida State, but the guy was good.
And you're
no problem with.
Are you a Bucks fan, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you think that the Bucks might have other holes to fill besides a kicker?
Besides JoJo?
I mean, I was surprised at it, but then again, you got to realize there's probably 3 or 4 other teams at the beginning of the third round. We're going to grab them. We got them at the 28th pick. Anybody in the top of the third round was going to grab them.
Okay. All right, Mark. Well, we appreciate the call.
I don't hate the pick.
I don't hate the pick either, but there's a reason why there's only been 1 kicker or 2 kickers in the past 18 years to go in the top 2 rounds. And it's because you can get them later and you can get them cheap.
Without giving anything up.
So anyways, Sean, unfortunately, we don't have time to get to you, but we will talk to you off air to get your thoughts and put it on the air later. You have it tuned to the Miggs and Swig show.
You do?
What do we got coming up, Don Miggs?
Well, we do have Tighten Up Tampa with JJ, who, by the way, is also single and ready to mingle. So if JoJo's not your flavor, then your favor is JJ. She's wearing bright neon right now. You could not miss her in a fight. So give her a call. But, hey, real quick, I just want to make sure we just give a real quick shout-out again to our friends at LSI, Laser Spine Institute. If you need any help, no-cost MRI review, fine relief for your back or your chronic neck problem. 844-899-BACK. That's how we pays the bills. Going to commercial here on Miggs and Swig Show. Breaking news, if JJ had a microphone that wasn't on a swivel arm, like all of these are, she
There's
would
one
be,
over there.
she'd be on
There
air
is one
more,
over
but
there.
she's facing the wall, she said, because she wouldn't turn around. Microphone, you could...
Microphone check 1 2.
If you are Bone TV, you could probably see the microphone JJ could get behind, but because I miss her when she's not on air. I'm just gonna say it. Hey, so that last segment, if you want to get back talking about kickers, 1-800-771-1025, and Ben is ready for you. I want to make sure, again, real quick, Lightning fans, be part of Bolt Nation, buy Bud Light, and get the window decal for free. For free. You ask the store clerk for your decal, and it's available at all Circle K stores while supplies last during round 2 of the Lightning playoffs. Go Bolts. Go Bolts.
Go Bolts.
Now, Ben, you had JoJo is sitting here. She has something to say.
Well, I just realized that I have 2 tickets to give away to the Brews with Attitude.
1-800-771-1025. If you call and give Joe a good pickup line, male or female, you don't have to want her, just a good pickup line.
Well, I'll give you 2 tickets to go to Brews with Attitude at Pepin next Tuesday, May 10th. It's from 6 to 10. I will be there. We'll have some beers together, and we'll catch up.
So,
like
Joe,
old
some
times.
guy comes up to you and goes, can I see your phone for a sec? And they look at it, and they say, oh, there's something wrong with your phone.
Oh,
and you
no.
would say,
what's wrong with my phone?
What is this?
It doesn't have my phone number in it.
Oh, Ben.
I might be down with that.
Yeah,
That's your. Can I tell you that's exactly where you're going wrong? Is
your
that you
phone,
might be down with
your
that?
phone seems to be broken, JoJo. Why? Oh, because it doesn't have my number.
And you know what you should do? You say, give me that. I want to fix that. And when you get the phone back, hit him in the head with the phone.
Done.
Although I did hear a good story about a pickup line. So a guy was on a plane, and he's sitting next to a very attractive woman, and he's like, oh, my God, I lost my phone. Can I borrow your phone? And she said, yeah. So he ended up calling her
his
number. And so he had her number in her phone. And then when they got off, he called her and said,
I tricked you. That.
It's a little creepy.
That's a little creepy cute.
If it was somebody you want to date, it'd be cool. But if it wasn't, it'd be a little creepy.
JJ, would you go for
You
that?
wouldn't give him your phone then.
You're not near a microphone. We can't actually have that
How about
conversation.
nod or shake your yes or no?
Well, how come you're not sitting over there next
Ryan,
to the mic?
She said that microphone doesn't turn where she can actually look at us. She'd be facing the wall, Ryan.
Of course, then she could use my microphone sitting right here, but then she'd have to lean in and get close to another human being.
It's a little awkward when she does that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, when she leans in, she kisses your ear. That's what.
So we do have a call, but let me just tell. Can I just?
Tell Frontier.
I have an amends to make. To Frontier Communications, and I know a lot of people in Tampa Bay have had a problem, big problems. Just Google or not Google, but go on Facebook and type in Frontier or Twitter, and people have been days without internet, waiting for them to show up.
Hate them.
I know JoJo had a terrible experience with them. So Thursday, my internet goes out, and TV goes out, everything goes out. I call them. Their service center needs some help because it's not in this country. But basically, the guy said, so we're going to have to send somebody out. And I said, okay, when can they come out? And they said Sunday. And I was like, okay, 4 days without internet. I said, what time Sunday? And usually cable companies are notorious for giving you a window, like a 3-hour window.
Like 8 to 12, whatever.
Here, you know what my window was? We will be there before 5 p.m.
That's what yep.
All day. And so I just leaned into him, and I was like, and he goes, okay, we're going to have somebody, I'll type in there to try to be the first call of the day. And I was like, from what I read on the internet, I was like, there's no way this is ever going to happen. And so I kind of blasted him on social media.
Rightly so.
I saw that.
And let me tell you something. I got a call at 9 o'clock this morning. The guy was on his way. They're at my house right now fixing their
Because
internet.
you're a big deal, Ben.
Yay.
Well, I did tell the guy.
Swig.
I did tell the guy, and I used the radio station. I did tell the guy that I would be blasting them on the radio on Sunday, and we have a lot of listeners who have had the same experience. And and I told him I was kind of big deal.
Good.
So they showed up.
You name dropped on yourself.
And I did call. My segment was going to be on Frontier, and I did call their PR representative for the Southeast region in Florida, and I left a message, and I said, look, we're going to be talking about what you've done in the Tampa Bay area, and I want to give you guys a chance to defend yourself and come on the air and explain what's going on. Guess what?
Declined.
Didn't get a call back. But anyways, they showed up.
Shocking.
All right, that's very cool. Ladies and gentlemen.
JoJo. What's going to work for JoJo?
Cliff, you have a pickup line for JoJo so you can win 2 tickets for May 10th to join JoJo at the Brews. What is it?
With Attitude.
Brews with Attitude.
What a great name, by the way.
And just so you know, you don't actually have to spend time with her if you don't want to, but she will be there. And, she may need you to help keep her upright. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
All right, Cliff, go.
Usually
Let's hear it.
Hi, JoJo. Would you like pizza and some sex?
Yes.
You don't like pizza?
Slap. Oh, what? You don't like pizza?
Cliff, are you single?
I do love pizza
I
and
am
sex.
not single.
Well, with that pickup line, how could you be? That's amazing. I'm down with pizza and sex, two of my favorite things.
At
so
the same time,
I
too.
think, in all fairness, you get tickets for Brews with Attitude.
You could make a pizza with JoJo and then eat it. Throw a little pepperoni, a little cheese, a little.
He's not single, but
I'm just saying for
maybe
all the
he
guys
has a
out
single
there.
friend.
Or maybe he and his significant other
maybe
add to the party, and
Swing
you're
a
just
bit?
a little.
Do you guys like to?
Cliff, don't pay any attention to them.
You're a third wheel, so to speak.
You go to key parties, Cliff, with you and your wife?
Oh my God, no! It's going to be amazing, though, Cliff. They have over 100 craft beers and ciders. We'll have live entertainment, food trucks, one-off craft beer releases, and then some hand-rolled cigars. So make sure to find me, say hi. We'll have a beer together.
And never use that pickup line again. But you are the winner.
He doesn't have to.
You are the winner.
Cliff
Congratulations.
wins. Cliff,
Cliff.
hang on the line. Hang on the line. Hey, you know what?
What?
We I think JJ's been scouring the world for some tighten up Tampa because she was going to do a little get out of Tampa but stay tightened. Is any of that making sense? Rolling with anyone?
So basically, there are other places in the world that need to tighten up besides Tampa.
Yeah, but it's really hard to talk to JJ because she can't. And look, she's making a point by saying turn the other way. Oh gosh!
Oh look, a mic.
And she's facing us.
I'm almost sitting on her.
Well,
while
you
she's...
could actually sit there and turn the same mic, but I'm not gonna.
Oh my God!
we
Leave
won't
her
make it
alone.
work.
Thank
Tighten
you,
up
JoJo.
Tampa.
Go ahead.
Tighten up, Tampa, what is wrong with you? Tighten up, Tampa, what is wrong with you?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, JJ.
Hey there. So we're going on the road, and we're going on the road to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ooh, tighten up
Yes.
Tampa in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Brian Earl Taylor. He was at a sentencing for his unlawful imprisonment and carrying a concealed weapon. He was arrested in November after police found him struggling with another man and holding a gun to his abdomen. At the time of his arrest, Taylor had multiple felony and warrants and was on parole. So at his sentencing, he has a chance to go and give, basically say something right before their sentence. And before he did, he decided to break out in a little song inspired by Adele's Hello. And here it is.
Maybe not.
Jamie's still asleep from the kicker.
This is our
He didn't have
high
it quite
price
pulled up.
engineer producer right here.
I mean, he's making the money this
So,
kid's making
I
is
can sing
unbelievable.
it. The lyrics are here.
You have the lyrics? No, JJ, can you sing it?
It's not as good as him. I'm so
there.
Oh,
That's not JJ, by the way.
Say I'm sorry for the things I've done.
Oh my God.
And I try and be stronger in this life I chose. But I want you to know that door I closed. In your honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry.
I mean,
this is supposed to be hello.
I'm sorry,
His
he would
version
have been
of
better off singing Justin Bieber's Sorry.
He should have been better off singing nothing and just apologize.
taking the,
If you watch it, no one in the background is laughing or they're all
Nothing.
acting like
Stoic.
Like he's,
They're all stoic.
like it's an SNL skit.
Well, it didn't
It will
work.
be. It should be.
He asked for a shorter sentence of 36 months, but his crimes warranted a much longer sentence, and he has been sentenced to up to 17 years in prison.
Oh, he's sorry.
He's sorry.
Give us
sorry.
Ann Arbor, Michigan, tighten up.
Wow, tighten up. Hey, you know what, Ben? There was a
What?
trending topic on Friday.
Friday.
We need to drop those.
Jamie, can we kill that?
Yes.
Aren't you like a pseudo producer, or are you an actual producer? Because you're not helping us.
No, I'm not. So why do you keep expecting me to?
All right, good point.
Friday.
So this is your fault.
All right,
What
I'll
is
take
it?
the blame.
Friday.
It's Prince and the Percocet addiction. Did you hear about this, Ben?
I did.
So it's confirmed.
No, it's not confirmed because the autopsy report. I mean, look, if it smells like if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, chances are
It's a rabbit.
duck.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, I'm
Or-
sorry. I
No,
thought
no,
it was
it's a duck.
different-
So,
okay, got it.
yeah, sadly, it looks like it's a Percocet addiction, and I don't know, man. Percocet. It's weird because it's not that they're much more powerful painkillers and opiates out there. But I guess obviously if you take enough of anything, you're going to overdose. But I was just reading this article, and it amazes me about the making doctors take these courses, because they don't have to take any courses about pain medication or whatever. And it's always been optional. But why in this day and age, with all these overdoses and everything, we don't have doctors who know about the seriousness of the stuff that they're prescribing?
Mm-hmm.
It is beyond.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And Florida has done a great job in tightening up their problem, because the pill mill problem was out of control. Right?
Well, and especially anyone, that's the thing about these prescription pills. It doesn't matter your age. People who they turn 55 and they have a bad back and they go and they start taking something. Next thing you know, they're addicted.
Right. It doesn't matter if you. I mean, that's the thing is if you took a normal person, like my mom, for instance. I mean, who's coming today? I'm so excited.
Yay.
She's coming into town from San Francisco, but she smells alcohol and she gets drunk. I mean, she'll have a half a drink and she'll get drunk. But if she had, God forbid, anything happened to her and she had to take painkillers for an extended period of time, she'd become addicted. I mean, your cells would become addicted to it. You know, I know going through my back procedure, obviously my past, it's a slippery slope, you know, because I can't obviously not take pain medication because I'm in so much pain.
Over the years, is there some sort of database where pharmacists can see everything?
They're starting to, and yes, and Rick Scott finally signed it.
Because that was always when I worked for Paula Abdul, and that was, I know a lot of people were always like, "Oh, she's drunk," and I, honest to God, and I mean, I was with her way more than I wanted to be at the time, but never saw her drink.
Not in the biblical sense.
But I know she was on a lot of different medication because she was in a plane crash a while ago, and medicine for that, and then she couldn't sleep, so medicine for that, and then she was wide awake, so you know, so it was a bunch of different things. And I sat for a long time and tried to figure out what was this pill cocktail doing to her. But you know, I'm not a doctor,
right? And that's the thing, is they'll prescribe a bunch of different stuff and they won't know what. And that's the WWE wrestler who just
China.
That's what they're saying killed her, because she was on so many different types of medications. And finally, but to answer your question, is yes, at least in Florida now, you can't, if there's a CVS and a Walgreens right next to each other, they have a thing that talks, and that's how Florida sort of talks.
I mean, it just has to be.
If you filled a prescription for a Percocet, and then got another prescription from another doctor, that's what people do,
right?
And went to the Walgreens across the street, they know now that you filled it at the CVS.
And I think even in Prince's case, where they don't even care if he just filled it a week ago.
Well,
it's Prince, and they want his business, and they're going to prescribe him, and that's what they did.
Ask Elvis.
There is a
Scott Weiland
thing where Prince went to a Walgreens 7 miles away from his house, that they're saying where he filled his last prescription, and there was 4 other pharmacies closer.
But he had already.
And I don't know what the Minnesota law is. I don't know if they have that, but obviously he was filling different prescriptions at different pharmacies along,
I mean, what sucks is, first of all, he has all this pain, so he starts taking this thing to fix the pain, and now he's addicted to it. Now he's jonesing for something that was supposed to just be helpful to get him through, so he could.
And now it's just so he doesn't get sick, right? Because if you take those stuff for a long time, like I said, you become addicted. Your cells become physically dependent on it, and if you don't take it, let me tell you something. An opiate withdrawal, everybody's had the flu, multiply that by about 20.
I have a family member.
I can't even imagine.
Is the worst, especially with pharmaceutical, because there's so much other stuff in it, but the pharmaceutical detox is actually worse than the heroin one. But it's terrible, and it's a terrible epidemic. But the good thing about it, the silver lining, is finally coming to the forefront. Finally, I mean, even Donald Trump, and the Republicans and the Democrats, President Obama said something in his last State of the Union address about it. So at least it's coming to the forefront, and people are starting to talk about it. Whereas before, it was sort of like, you remember when AIDS was it wasn't. What's the word I'm looking for? It was
taboo subject.
It was a taboo subject, but it was because you were what's the word I'm looking for? It was anyways,
Fili-
stigma. There's a stigma.
Filibuster.
It was in the
Friends.
It was in the closet.
Oh, I thought we were just doing like
no.
a game.
It was in the closet, right? So nobody wanted to talk about the disease of addiction.
Right.
But finally, we're starting to talk about it. It's becoming part of the conversation because kids are dying. I mean, it's an epidemic in this country, and it has to be dealt with.
Well, all right. We
know people are going to go through withdrawal once we end this show.
Oh,
exactly.
Yep.
But we will be back next week.
I mean, we're going to be back whether you want us to or not.
Yeah,
that's the way. That's the way we roll.
Stuck with us.
And you know what? I'm going to call for a minute. I want to say thanks again to. We have terrific sponsors.
Yeah,
and
very
honestly,
lucky.
that's why the show gets to be on. And I know sometimes we're awkward about how we bring them up, but South Tampa Dermatology. South Tampa Dermatology.
Wait, before you, it's a lifestyle choice. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
What they say about AIDS.
Right.
What they say about AIDS
right.
is a lifestyle choice.
Got
Same
it.
thing they say about addiction. So
Ben, they
thank you.
call
I got
that
it.
the spirit of the staircase when that happens. When you know what you want to say and you can't until you leave the room.
And then you get it?
And they call it the spirit of the staircase.
Why?
The phenomenon is really if you're in a fight. So you're on air right now.
I hate when I do that.
Or like say you and JoJo just had this thing and you're like, she got the better of you or whatever. As you're leaving,
Chances
you think,
are that won't happen.
Yeah, but as you're leaving, you think I should have said blah 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 blah. They call that the spirit of the staircase.
And you wish you had said regrets. You're
Right.
Like, I should have said that.
So I want to say thanks to South Tampa
You're welcome.
Dermatology.
Oh.
813-872-9551. Say Miggs and Swig sent you, and they're going to give you something. I don't know. I want to say thanks to Pepin Distributors, pepindistributing.com. First of all, Pepin, they do really good things for the community. They're
Sure do.
good people. We were with them last night. They spent a lot of money for the Heart
The Heart
Association,
Ball.
which was amazing. So when you're out buying a beer,
Balls.
mostly if it's a Budweiser beer, you're doing something with Pepin. So support them. Go see JoJo on May 10th. We also have the what's the thing we're doing? Miles for Moffatt
Miles
on
for
May
Moffatt.
14th.
14th, join our team.
Yep, the Miggs and Swig team. I don't know. Laser Spine Institute, 844-899-BACK. I got to tell you, I enjoy doing this show. Love being with you guys.
Ditto.
Thank you for the B12 shots from Dr. Smith, which was pretty cool.
HangIVer Bar.
Don't forget
I
your
feel like I can
mommies.
go run a marathon for Miles
Hey,
for
be
Moffatt.
good to each other and to yourselves. The Miggs and Swig Show. See you next week.